Annie with Bright Star Massage in Eugene, Oregon. Today I'm going to do a quick review of Synergy hot stones. I've been using these hot stones for over a year now, and I have to say I do like them. There are some pros and cons. So in the past when I've done hot stone, I've used natural river stones. These are really abundant here in Oregon. They have a high basalt content. That's the kind of river stone that you're looking for. It's one with a high basalt content. I don't know that it's particularly legal to take these out of riverbeds. But that's what I did years ago, and I wasn't thinking about the legality of it when I did it. There's just tons of these in the riverbeds in Oregon, and I have a whole bunch of natural stones that I picked up. And these are fine, you know, if you like natural, and you know, they have different interesting shapes, and you get to know each one particularly and really love them. And these are heated in a vat of water. That's the method of heating these up. So what I like about Synergy hot stones is that they are ceramic. They're also really interesting shapes. So because these are ceramic, you don't have to use the water vat method of heating them up. You can heat them between these two hot packs, and they heat really evenly. You could try heating natural stones with hot packs. I've seen methods of that done. Some people do that. But what you can do with these ceramic stones that you cannot do with a natural stone is put them in the microwave. So in the past, when I was using the water vat method, I would have to get to work an hour early to get the stones up to temperature before the massage service. So, you know, say if the earliest I wanted to start was 11 a.m. on a Saturday, then the first one that booked was a hot stone massage. Well, guess what? That means I need to be there at 10. So maybe I don't have as long to do a long run before coming to work. You know, that sort of thing. You have to factor that in. What's great about this is that I can get to work maybe a little bit earlier than usual, but not too much. And I can get these going in my microwave. So I can't fit them all in at once, but like I can fit 4 of these big guys in there. And I just do them in batches. So it would be 1, 2, 3 batches, and then I have some of these. They're this really fun shape. I have 3 of them, and I can only fit 1 at a time in my microwave. My microwave is very small. So do not put natural stones in the microwave. They might not blow up, but they also might blow up. It's not worth it. Don't do it. Another thing that's great about these is that these are all made out of the exact same material. So the just the heat retention is going to be predictable. Now they are different masses, so you know these big fat guys are going to retain more heat than these little nubby guys, and that's just because of the mass. But with natural stones, you might know that the rock has a high basalt content, but you don't really know any more information about the composition. You know, it could vary, and then that causes them to retain heat differently. These ceramic stones in general retain heat for longer, which is nice. As you're working with them, it takes them longer to cool off. So, you know, I guess the most unique thing about these stones is the shape. Like this one, for example, when I'm using this, I would go down the paraspinals, and the spine fits right under this groove, so you're not harming the spine in any way. But you can get on both sides of the spine, and they're heavy. They have this weight that, you know, you're kind of pushing into the muscle of the client. They also have a nice weight to them. And then, you know, go up and down the paraspinals, and then you can also kind of turn them and get into the trap with these edges. These are great on hamstrings and quads also. You know, you can see how this would go right on the middle quad. And you can kind of turn it to the side and get the IT band. These ones, they're more of a natural rock shape. They're just very uniform. This one is fat and heavy, and it just has a nice feeling in the hand. It's more comfortable. This one I like because it has this edge. That's good for beside the spine of the scapula, or, you know, getting in here. This one is great for the palm of the hand, the bottom of the feet, and then also I like this triangular. There's 3 nubs right there that I can use this, and it just kind of, the third point there just kind of fits right into the lamina groove. Oh my God, that feels so good. Oh wow, I need a massage. It just, it works good on the neck. I think I should get a massage. So anyway, I'll clean this one since I just used it all over myself. But you know, you can get creative and do really interesting things with these. They have, this part is kind of porous, and that's not porous. If it was porous, it would gather like funk and get moldy, right? It is totally vitreous because it's ceramic. It's not water permeable. But what I mean is this is sort of rougher, and then this glazed part is more smooth. And that is so that you don't drop it. It's not slippery, but then this part slips more. Now, Synergy Stone also makes ones that are completely glazed everywhere. And the advantage of having those is that you can use them through the clothing. You could even use them for chair massage. If you had this thing plugged in, there's a hot pack like this underneath these stones, and there's one on top, and you just set the digital thermometer. If you had these set up at your chair massage station, you could grab one of these and use it on your client, and then quickly clean it with alcohol and put it right back in to keep them warm. Okay. So now let's talk about disadvantages. Well, let me mention one more advantage. When you're doing the water vat method, like I've done so much in the past, you're not only heating the stones, you're also creating a lot of water vapor. And most massage offices are small, and I've seen in my office just water dripping down the inside of the window after a long day of hot stone massage. I don't want that. I don't want a muggy environment in my office. So this is better because it's dry. So there's a digital pack underneath, and there's one on top. This is really easy to clean with alcohol or mild soap. Clean it really easily. And you just keep these all tucked in to here, and then when you need one, you grab it, use it on your client. And, you know, like if it's a long 2-hour massage, you can put this back in and get it, you know, to where it's heating up again. Now, one of the disadvantages is when you are heating stones in water, you do know exactly how hot they are. If you put a thermometer in the water and it says that it's 130 degrees, then it is 130 degrees. If the stones have been in there for long, you know, quite a while, they are also 130 degrees in the middle of them. The old vat stone heater, water vat stone heater that I have is digital. That was really nice because you can just set the display, like set it to 130, and it just stabilizes and stays there. It'll tell you while it's heating up, like, okay, it's 94 now, but your target is 130. So it tells you where it's at. And then when it evens out, it'll say like your target is, it's at 130 now, and your target is also 130, and it just stabilizes. You know that those rocks are the perfect temperature for your client. These take a little bit more getting used to. I'm used to them now, so I can deal with it. A lot of times, if I want these guys to be heated up to the optimal temperature, it kind of means that these are a lot hotter, and it's just because of the different mass and shape. And so sometimes I have to get kind of fancy with like taking one stone out and setting it aside on a clean towel while I'm using another one, so this one can sort of cool off a little. My hands are really tough, so sometimes I can even hold them, and like say I grab this to do the lower body, I can hold this with my hand comfortably because I'm not very sensitive to heat. Then I can use that through the sheet on the glutes while it's hot, and where it might be a little bit too hot to actually touch the skin, you can do it on the glutes. And as you're massaging the glutes through the sheet with the stone, you know, the heat from the stone transfers into the person and it cools off the stone. So then in just a few minutes, this is ready to go and you can touch the back of the leg and it's fine. You do have to get used to that. I mean, there's definitely a learning curve with that. These are really crazy expensive. So, you know, you need to take all those pros and cons into account and decide for yourself. I think they're really cool. A lot of times when people buy these Synergy hot stones, they do charge more for the service. At first I didn't charge more, but then just because of the cleanup factor, they are a lot easier to set up and clean, but it still isn't completely easy. You know, it takes extra time. And so I only charge $5 extra, but one thing that I do is that I will not do this for an hour. It's not worth it to me to get them dirty and clean them again for 1 hour. So I set my hot stone service at 75 minutes minimum. So 75 and 90 minute is what I do regular hot stone for. And then I also have a service called hot ashiatsu and I do that for 90 minutes or 2 hours. And that is where, you know, I would warm up the backside of the client with stones and then get up on my bars and do an ashiatsu massage with my feet and then flip them over and repeat the process. Warm up the muscles with the stones and then jump up on the table and use feet. People love that. I just did one for 90 minutes. It was awesome. So just to try out, I bought a couple of these that were really interesting. I think I got a couple of them from overstock.com because they were a little bit cheaper because I just wanted to try them out. I wasn't ready to buy a whole set. So I did buy some of these piecemeal. But after I bought a couple of those, I said, okay, yeah, no, I like this and I'll just buy them from Synergy Hot Stone because I want to support the company. I think it's a really cool item that they've created. Kudos to whoever thought up this idea. That's really smart. And so, I mean, it was like over $1,000 I invested. You could build your own wooden tray. I didn't, only because my husband was very busy at the time I needed this. He's a contractor and he could have easily made this tray, you know, to these dimensions. They just sort of perfectly fit these hot stones. But I just opted to buy it from the company. I mean, it was like over $100 just for the tray, but I just, you know, I was busy. It was easier for me to buy it than ask my husband to do it. These packs each cost money. The packs I actually got from Amazon, not from Synergy, so I don't know the ones that Synergy Stone suggests. I don't know how they differ from this one. I do know that this has a safety. I think they all do have a safety so that it times out after an hour. And that's something to consider, that, you know, in a 90-minute massage, it's gonna like do the little bleepy thing after an hour and turn it off. You can catch it before it does that, but it still makes a noise. You know, clients don't really mind. You turn it off, you turn it back on, and then it resets for an hour. There's no way to override that because it's just a safety issue. You don't want, you know, you don't want to accidentally leave for the day and have it left on. That's pretty much all I can think about on these Synergy hot stones. They are crazy expensive, but I would say I just have really enjoyed working with them, and I do get paid more when I do those hot stone services. People love it. I love it. I get really excited when October comes around and it's time for hot stone again. I only do it about October through May because it's just too hot in the summer. And I always look forward to it. It makes me warm. It feels good to have that warmth in my hands. And also, hot stone is just effective. It loosens people's muscles up.